Hey everyone, welcome to How to Make Conscious Habits. I'm Brian Jacobson and welcome to A Mind for You. At A Mind for You, we train and learn about everything that can help you and us to experience more of what we truly desire. So that's methods, techniques, whatever will get you back on track to experience more of what it is you really want. In this video here, we shall break down a method by a man called Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey made the 7 habits for highly successful people. And in that book, he shared a model that teaches us how to go from a desire, something you want, into practical habits that will make it happen. We're going to look into that. So quote by Stephen Covey and Robin Sharma is, everything is created twice, first in the mind and then into reality. And this is the bare concept of what we're going to see here on the next slide. And of course, just like this video here, first created in my mind, written down, and now put into reality. So the Stephen Covey model is what we look at here. Over here, you have desire, want to, right? There's vision, but there's also the knowledge, what to and why to do it. Then you have the skills over here, and we're going to focus on the 3 areas of desire, knowledge, and skills. Skills is how to accomplish it. And then there's one common denominator, which is habits. And that's what we want to distinguish. What kind of habits on a daily basis will bring your desire into a reality? So this is the model, and let me just break it down a bit for you. So the desire is what you want to, okay? It's something that you have come across, seen, or imagined that feels great, something that you would like to see more of, right? Which is the opposite of something you don't want. So you want to come back into a mindset of what it is that I want and how can I create it, not what you don't want, okay? Now there's a vision often included in that, and that vision also includes some knowledge of what it is that you really want to accomplish here, what it is you're trying to do, and also why it's necessary, okay? There's some competences that's needed to create any desire. We're going to focus more on the skills on how to do it. So let's look into the next slide and dive deeper into how do you define your desire, what is needed to actually get clarity on the desire. So that's the new mindset, new habit, new experience mind map. But I'm going to share with you where you can see it a little bit better. So it will look like this. Okay. So what you're looking at here is the mind map that I created from the model. I'm going to focus down on desire, right? So first question you got to ask yourself with your desire is, what do you want? What is it you want to happen, right? And you got to define that, be very specific. And I'm going to show you examples of how to do that tomorrow. But in this video here, just to give you an idea of how to use the model. So you define it, you be very specific of what it is you want. And then you start describing it. And you want to describe in terms of how does it feel, this desire, you know, when you achieve it, when you got it, how does it feel? Is it excited? Do you have more peace? Do you have more confidence? Do you have more money, which gives you a sense of more freedom of doing what you want, right? So you want to look into how do you feel having it already. And of course, what you want, you need to visualize it, the mental aspect. You need to be able to see what it is you want. And that's also necessary in order to define it, be specific, describe it, and so forth. So we got to use imagination. Next question you want to look into is, how does it support your daily life, right? Is this a real desire, or is it because you want to avoid something in your life, or you want to escape something? Right when we ask the question, how does it support my daily life, health-wise, look into that. How does it support you health-wise, your wealth? How does it support your ability to focus, or your relationships, your relations? How does it support your goals? Let's say my desire was to change my diet, right? I wanted to change my diet for increasing my health, right? Improving my focus. Okay, and that will, of course, in turn, increase my wealth, right? Because I can work more steadily, more committed. So you got to ask that question. Next thing is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this to you? And most coaches will actually ask you this question right off the bat, because they don't want to work with people where it's just, if I get it, it's okay. If I don't get it, it's not okay. It's more like you want this, like on a 9-10 scale, right? Because then you will commit to it. You'll start doing what it takes, right? And also the next thing is, how much time and effort will you give it? So again, you start to become specific. You start to actually look into the future and say, okay, I got to commit some time for this. I got to commit some focus and effort to make this happen. And finally, we train ourselves in this method. Why is it important in one sentence? Okay. So you ask these questions, and then you have actually a desire. You can look at it, right? Because you visualized it. You can look at it. You can grasp it, communicate it. Next thing is the knowledge part. So with the knowledge part, we start to look into, how do you see you can make your desire come true, right? We start to tap into that. Maybe it's not easy for you to see that. Well, maybe with help from a coach or someone who already done that before, similar things, you can ask them for advice. So how do you see you can make your desire come true? Talk with a coach, talk with someone who's done it before, right? Get some help. What information do you need access to? Same thing. If you do not know what you need to learn yet, well, ask somebody who's done it. Start searching on the internet for keywords where you can access this information. So you answer this question. This will help you to start getting more specific what action you can start taking. And also, what does the desire require for its accomplishment? And we'll look more into this on a specific desire and how we break that down. But this is the method, okay? This is what we tap into. Again, in the knowledge, you got to ask why you want to do it also. But we already put it in the desire here. Like, why is it important for me in a sentence? But that's the same thing with the knowledge. Why is it important to you within yourself? Okay. When you got these in place, then we can start defining what skills we need to practice. Let's say it was swimming. You want to become better at swimming. You want to be able to swim 1,000 meters without getting tired. Okay, let's say that's the key. So what skills do you need to accomplish the goal? Well, there's a lot of ways of learning how to swim. You can increase your ability to handle pressure in the water, or you can learn to swim more effortlessly, right? But of course, you need the skill of discipline, right? Discipline is important because you need to start training. It's not going to happen overnight on the first try. And if it does, maybe you want to set yourself a new goal, right? A higher goal. So there's a discipline. You need to stay balanced. You can't train 24/7. You need still your sleep. There's still some things that you need to stay in balance with. Maybe you need to increase your muscle strength. Maybe you got to work on your focus, right? When you're doing swimming, you can't think about all the other stuff while you're doing the swimming. You need to focus on each stroke, how you get into the water, how it feels, everything like that. So it's important to define the skills. It's important, how can I train these skills? You can also look into that in the knowledge, but they overlap each other, okay? So how can I train the skills? Okay, look into that. Maybe you can train for the swimming part outside, open water, or you have a swimming hall where you can train 50 meters laps, 25-meter laps. And then, of course, can you define the skills in simple tasks, like one lane where I practice getting my arm in the water before I take my next stroke, because knowledge shows me the longer I am in the water, the more effortlessly I will flow. So can you define the skills in simple tasks? Okay. When you got these three here, the desire, knowledge, skills, then we can start working with habits. So what kind of habits do we need to practice on a daily and weekly, monthly basis to make our swimming in this example here better? We're going to show that tomorrow on the video more specifically, but just to hear. So what is needed on a weekly basis to begin creating your desire? Maybe to get better at something, with the knowledge that I have, is I need to train at least 2 to 3 times a week, a minimum of 20 minutes or more. But also if I do too much, I'm not training the technique anymore. So I gotta stay within my range of what I'm capable of focusing and doing specific tasks. You gotta ask yourself, anything daily needed? Well, what I do daily to improve my swimming, and I actually want to learn swimming more effortlessly, I imagine myself swimming. I look at some YouTube videos explaining how to do the strokes, how the feel is in the water, and I try and take that mental representation I make for myself when I visualize myself swimming down into the swimming hall, when I then start practicing the actual strokes. So that's what I can do on a daily basis. I can imagine it, watch some YouTube videos. If you can see the video up here, total immersion, that's the swimming technique that I'm doing, right? So I got a book, I can read in that on a daily basis. What changes from now on and then do you see happening, right? So again, what habits do I need to include? Well, getting up early so I have time for my swimming, right? I got to put aside my when I eat food, right, till after swimming. So that's some of the changes. Yeah, pretty much it. What about physical habits? Well, I got to do a little bit of stretching, opening up my shoulders more so I can be more flexible in the water. And all this will also be made more of when you start practicing, right? You can fill in more. But what's really beneficial here is when you start to become specific, your mind will work on the task on a subconscious level when it's specific, right? So that's why we do this mental mind map of our new desire. Is there any mental habits? Well, I already explained some of them for you. I visualize myself do the swimming. What about attitude? Is there some attitude habits we need to change? Okay. So something that can help us keep on going, the consistency. For example, I don't expect to improve for the first month, right? I need to just practice, do my best, and after a month's time, I might start seeing some improvement. Okay, so that's my expectation here. What about sleeping habits? Do I need to change something here? Eating habits, right? So you want to define habits 4 weeks forward, right? And you want to start journaling your progress. So journaling is a habit you want to include in your life as fast as possible when you want to create something. Because when you journal, you see if your actions that you take creates more of what you want or decreases it. Right? It brings awareness to what you do. So expected outcomes, unexpected outcomes, challenges, right? That's pretty much it. Cool. Let me just make a new share for you here. Going back to our presentation. So just to step back, right? You want to define your desire. You got to gain the knowledge for how and why that's important for you, but also why it's important to train in a certain way and what needs to be trained. Then you got to define those skills even further on how to, and you got to practice them by developing the right habits. Okay. And you can see there's the overlaps here of competence. Maybe you need to develop your competence of how to do things, but also there's a commitment level. So, okay. This prepares you to take the action needed to actually accomplish your desire. Return it from just a wishful way of thinking, not knowing how to or what to, right? To actually start being specific of how it's possible, what we can do, and how the week, our future will look like when we start making it happen. Okay, so short introduction here of how you can turn a desire into a habit. Tomorrow I'll take a specific desire. It might be the swimming, or it might be to wake up early, start your day in a great way. I'll take some examples for you. But if you want to become a mind bender, which is actually where we practice these things in step number 6 over here, the new mindset, that's where we start practicing of developing conscious habits. If you want to learn more about that and creating and training your new habits, if you want to learn how to handle the pitfalls of overthinking, because that's also something that will start to show up for you when you start new habits of overthinking or unconscious fears that you might have or limiting beliefs, they might pop up as we start to create what we really want in our lives. But if you want to know more about that, leave me a comment below. Okay, tomorrow we'll look into a specific example like, what I just mentioned. Begin your day excited or learn a new skill of swimming or swimming better. So that's what I have for you here. Hope you liked the video. Hope you liked the introduction to creating conscious habits. Thanks for watching. And are you inspired or motivated or have questions for this video here? Leave them down below. And also comment below for more info on the Mindbender course if you're interested. And you want to know more about it, how it can help you, and just leave more info below and I'll contact you as soon as possible. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great evening. Have a great day. And take care.